Welcome to Bear Lifestyle, the podcast where we speak up and speak out about all taboo topics to make them normal and acceptable. I'm your host, Simona Spark, a best-selling author, international speaker, transformational coach, and so many other things. Beyond anything else, I'm a woman who stopped following other people's rules and started creating my own. In this space, we are ready to get naked by stripping away insecurities and judgments and all kinds of limitations and reaching in for the essence of who we really are bare. Beautiful, authentic, real, and ever evolving. Please join the conversation by sharing with us your insights and your questions. You could email us directly to transformation@simonaspark.com, or you could DM us on Instagram at Simona Spark World. Thank you for joining me today. Let's begin. Welcome to Bear Lifestyle Podcast. I'm celebrating myself. I'm celebrating you. I'm celebrating everyone who's listening and watching. I'm celebrating with chamomile blueberry tea. Cheers, everyone. Welcome to a new season. This is officially the first episode of season 4. So for those of you that have been following me for the very beginning, thank you so much for doing so. And for those of you that just landed here for the first time, welcome. Thank you so much for finding us. Thank you so much for tuning in and joining me today. Welcome. So season 4, now it's always divine timing. Isn't it? So many things had happened this week. So many. So we closed last season with epic romantic closing of my relationship with Tim, which I had him as a co-host for the last season, just to let people into our relationship. So for those of you that just landed here today, I will recommend to go back and listen to season 3. So we closed that season, and then a few days ago was my birthday. So happy birthday to me. I'm 47, and we are starting this new season. The only host again, and I'm starting a new year, right? Now, every year on my birthday, I have intentions. I no longer do wishes, and I don't do goals anymore. It just make me want to cringe. So what I do intentions. So today I want to extend those intentions into this space, into Bear Lifestyle space, and into this new season, season number 4. First intention for everything and everyone in any space and no matter what is, I want to feel good. What can I do to feel good? What do I need to feel good? If we could only do that, if we could only make our decisions from this space, how wonderful life might be, isn't it? So that's my first intention. Intention number 2, which I touched to it in the last episode, into the closing of the last season, is creating unforgettable moments. Yes, I tattooed that on my wrist in Morse code. Unforgettable, it's been the word of the year for me. And on my birthday, when I blow my little candle, was part of my intention to create unforgettable moments. And in this space, I want to create unforgettable topics, conversations, insights, and I want to invite you to co-create with me. And the way that you could do that is by letting us in. Tell us what are you thinking, what triggers you, what are your insights, what interests you, right? You could leave it in the comments, or you could email me directly to transformation@simonaspark.com, or you could follow me on Instagram at Simona Spark World. So that was intention number 2. So number 1, to feel good. Number 2, to create unforgettable moment. And number 3, to do something new. Do something new that I know and I feel and I think and I believe it's going to serve me in the long run. So basically creating a new habit to support my well-being. And that intention for me is actually to yoga and meditation. Now, I want to pause here for a minute, because when it comes to meditation, it's something that I've been playing with for years. And I believe that I gotten really good at it compared to where I started. I mean, there is no such a thing good and bad. There is no such a thing bad meditation. Hear me out. There is no such a thing bad meditation. If you could sit in silence, close your eyes or have them open, take a fresh breath, inhale, exhale for a minute, that's a success. That could be 1 minute meditation. It's a success. So there is no such a thing bad meditation. I don't want to hear it. I hear it from my clients. I don't know how to do it. It was so bad. It's terrible. Like, none of that, right? I developed quite a consistent practice of meditating, not every day though, but sometimes multiple times a day. So I learned how to play with what is it that I need, or what are the moments when I need to just kind of ground myself or just go inwards and practice meditation. When it comes to yoga, as I shared before, that's something that I've been floating for over a decade, and it seemed to be difficult for me. I never found the right space, class, teacher, or I was not in the right state of mind to actually enjoy it, or maybe all the above. I think so. So being with Tim for the past few months, he actually got me into that space. When I get it, at least I get it enough to like it, to try it, and to call it today, 3 months later, a practice that I have in my life. Have I been consistent? No, I did not practice yoga every day, and sometimes were weeks without a yoga practice. Being with him in person for the past 2 weeks, I have the privilege of receiving a private classes and lessons and guidance and directions. And it's been so helpful that coming back to LA and getting back into it, I actually decided to commit to a Gong. So that is my intention with yoga and meditation, to do a yoga meditation Gong. Now, for those of you that follow me on Instagram, you already know about this. I announced it a couple of days ago what that Gong means. A Gong is when you commit to doing something for 100 days. So it's basically we are creating a new habit, right? But it's not a challenge, right? Like, let's eliminate the challenge, because there's too much negativity around it, as if, oh my God, if I don't do it, something happened, right? This is not the case here. Gong is something very intentional. I commit to do this no matter what. I don't commit it to do it fully. I don't commit it to do it perfectly. I don't commit it to do it for, I don't know what longer period of time every day. I commit to do it. It's about consistency, right? Consistency over quantity or quality or perfection. None of that, right? So consistency. What Gong does, if you skip a day, it doesn't matter if it's day 2 or day 82, you start all over again. Next morning, it's day 1. So that's the Gong. I do want to invite you to join me on this Gong journey. And it doesn't have to be yoga or meditation. It could be, it gets to be something that you want to create as a habit. That is something that you would like to have in your life. That is something that you desire, you wish for, or you want to deepen, to master, whatever it is, just to commit to 100 days, right? Consistency. So please let me know. Let me know if you join me with yoga or meditation or both, or with something else. You could leave it in a comment, or you could follow me on Instagram at Simona Spark World. One thing that I want to say here, though, because it's a big commitment, not only to be consistent, not only to create the time and space for whatever it is that you want to do, not only that it's a long period of time, right? We are talking 3 months. So all of this are really hard. So I want to invite you to find your inspiration. Pay attention. I didn't say motivation. I didn't say motivation because at this point, I believe that if we need motivation, that is really hard to do. Motivation for me, it's coming from outside. It's an outside force that if I'm not doing this, something bad is going to happen. What I want you to find for what is it that you want to create is to find your inspiration. Inspiration is something that comes from inside, and it's really tied to transformation. Like, what is it that you choose, that you know and you think and you believe that if you are doing it every day, it's actually gonna transform you. It's gonna make you, I won't say better, because there's nothing wrong with you. It's gonna bring you to a higher version of yourself, regardless if it's mastering a skill or improving your fitness level, learning a language, anything. You could choose anything that you wish, anything that you desire, you get to have them. But you get to show up for that. And I invite you to show up for that particular thing that you choose for the next 100 days. So now that you find, maybe you find your motivation, because we all know how to find that. And then I want to invite you to go deeper and find your inspiration. What is it that, like, you have to see the future version of yourself, what you could transform into, who you get to become at the end of 100 days. When you have those two, I also want to invite you to find your accountability. Accountability could be anything that works for you. Most people, when we say accountability, they get an accountability partner, somebody to do it with, which is amazing. That doesn't necessarily work for me, and I will tell you why. Probably I'm not necessarily a team player, but for me, what happened with accountability partner is, and I see it over and over and over again. If the accountability partner, your friend, whomever you choose, has a bad day, it's take very little to say, hey, let's just skip it. Let's just call it cheat day or whatever. And it's just like, if you also don't want to feel like doing it, and they already decided they are not doing it, it's very easy to dive into not doing it, right? So that's my input with that one. What I choose as accountability is visibility, making it public. So first of all, I make it public here, right? And second, a couple of days ago, I posted on Facebook. So what I do with my yoga practice every day, I record it and then I time lapse it and I post it on Instagram. So then people get to see it every day. I'm talking about accountability part. I'm not choosing one. I'm choosing, I don't know how many are there, 8,000. So that's that. And those three might sound difficult, and they're not as difficult. What I found it being more difficult is to incorporate it in your daily routine. That assuming that you already have a daily routine. So it's creating the space and the time for the thing that you want to do. And that could be very scary for your psyche, right? Because it's like, oh, I already have so many things to do, and now I'm going to do this, right? The way that works for me, and see if this works for you, is to break it in little pieces. So I do my yoga practice, and I record it, and I forget about it. And then I'm doing my meditation, and I'm taking that in, and then I go by my day. And during the day, when I take a break from office hours or seeing clients, I'm going back to the recording, I time lapse it, and I post it on Instagram. So I get to do all the things that I commit to, but one by one instead of all in once, because that will require a big chunk of time. So then my critter brain will be like, oh, you don't have this time or whatever. But if you spread it out throughout the day, whatever it is that you decide to do, that might be a little bit easier for your whole system to calibrate to this new routine that you incorporate in your daily routine. Now, let me be bare here for a minute. with posting on Instagram. For some of you might be a scary thing, and I get it. I've been there, and it's that fear of being visible. It's a real thing, right? I don't have that fear anymore. I don't care if people see me, if they watch my body or clothes or me not wearing makeup or whatever, right? That doesn't bother me anymore. But when I post the first video, the first thing that I felt, which was so unexpected, I was thinking, oh my God, all these yoga gurus, teachers, they're on Instagram. They're look at me and say, girl, what are you doing? What is that? Right? Is that even yoga? What's happening? So I have that thought, and I know it's silly because I like instantly start laughing. But I just want to share with you that it doesn't matter how much work we do to work through whatever fear. Every now and then we're still gonna have like a knock on the door, like, are you sure about this? And just to recognize that it's not coming from where we are going. It's coming from where we were. It's coming from the past, right? Every time we up leveling, those old programming, they're knocking on the door and say, hey, take us with you. And we just get to do another cleaning and just leave them behind to say, hey, it's okay. I know that I'm not a yoga professionist, and I know that I just have a few lessons, but I wanted to find my practice, and I want to learn how to do it. And before I listen to what everybody else had to say about my movement, I'm just going to listen to my body, and I'm going to allow my body to take me into the next movement. That being said, yes, I do my own flow. So I'm very curious to learn how to listen to my body and honor that. Like, what is it that my body need? What kind of stretch? Am I focusing on my back? Or my legs needing more attention? Instead of, following a pre-made flow, which is nothing wrong with it. And I'm pretty sure that I'm going to do that. In fact, Tim is going to create some for me. Just a reminder here in public. Yeah, and in fact, he told me that, oh, wow, you already create your own practice. Most people won't do that till after, I don't know, years of practice. But I don't believe in rules. Who said that? Who said that you could only create your own yoga flow after you perfect all the poses? Who said that you could only post your practice online when it's all perfect? Who decided on all that? So let's just come to an agreement, okay? Here's the agreement. It's my account. It's my wall. I get to decide what I post there. The only person or entity that gets to tell me what to not post there, it's Instagram itself, if I break any rules or regulations. Other than that, there is no one from the billions of people that are Instagram to tell me that that's not right, or that's not good, or that should not be there, or I should take it off. Like, can we just agree with that? Can we just agree with that? And if more people will show up like that, not like me, but your version of that, into just being visible and speaking up and speaking out and be transparent and be bare, right? Then we get to use those platforms into just encouraging more people to be authentic. Is not what we want? No, seriously. Is it not what we are after? At least we are in this space. So that being said, I just want to remind you to be bare, be as beautiful as you are, show up in your own authenticity, keep it real, and allow yourself to ever evolve. Do you hear me? Ever evolving. We are never done. We are never there. What we are doing, we are evolving every minute, every hour, every day. So might as well, let's just do it together, shall we? I think that will be a good note to close on today. Thank you so much for being here. I want to welcome you again into season 4. and invite you again to create your intentions for the day, for the year, for the month, for the season, for yourself. What is it that you intend to be, to do, to become, and then commit to it. Commit for a day, commit for a week, commit for 100 days, commit to whatever feels right to you today. And let's just become, because we get to become whomever we dream of becoming. So thank you so much for being here. Sending you lots of love and invite you to be there. See you next time. Ciao. Thank you for tuning in today. Please follow, rate, and review your favorite episode and share it with your friends. I would love to hear from you. What inspired you? What triggered you? And what interests you? For more bear experiences, please go to simonaspark.com/bear. And for a daily bear inspiration, please follow us on Instagram at Simona Spark World. I can't wait to have you back. Until then, be bear. Beautiful, authentic, real, and ever evolving. Lots of love, my friend.